So after living overseas for 10 years, me and my wife decided it's time for a new adventure. We have resigned from our jobs and moved back to Sweden while we are here and converting our newly bought van to a campervan. So you can see us here driving on the way back home in our newly purchased Mercedes Sprinter from 2012, which has 130,000 kilometers on the clock and it's in really good condition. Better than the rust and very well maintained, so I think it's going to be a great car to convert to a camper. The car was going as a service van before, so it has a full workshop interior, which we had to rip out to start with. First I tried to undo the bolts for the workshop, but all the bolts were spinning. So as you can see, I tried doing all the bolts, but everything was spinning. These are the bolts that I'm pointing at now. That has a bit removed. Lina had to be inside the car while I was trying to hold the bolt underneath the car at the same time, but everything was so rusty, so I had to use the angle grinder to remove the bolts. I was able to remove some of the bolts from the inside though, which was a lot easier than being underneath the car. It was quite heavy, so we tried to lift it out in one piece first, but we quickly realized that it's going to be way too heavy to lift it out in one go, so we split it into two pieces and lifted it out. As you can see, the right side we already lifted out here. The back panels were fastened with rivets, so all of them had to be drilled out to be able to be removed.
I don't know what to say.
Huh? Ta-da!
It's empty.
It's empty and kind of clean. Okay, we have removed all the like workstation interior, and now we need to remove all the walls. I guess that's the step one.
All the panels.
All the panels, and we don't have a screwdriver with the right head, so we need to do everything by hand. So let's get onto it.
So as Lina said, we didn't have an electric screwdriver, so all of the screws had to be done manually, which was a bit pain. We got tools the second day though. Right, so what we didn't know was that it's insulation like everywhere, like really good. But we need to rip out everything because we want to check how it looks behind it. So it's fresh. So we need to take all this out, unfortunately. So this was going as a service car before, hence why it's fully insulated. But yeah, remove and redo. Here we go. Insulation is really tricky to work with, like it's itchy AF. So me working in a t-shirt probably wasn't the best idea. But since we were just ripping it out, it was pretty okay. If I were gonna put it back in, I'm gonna wear a lot more clothes than just a t-shirt and shorts. Right, it's all taken out, all the insulation that was. As you can see, there's a lot of rust spots that I really want to take care of instead of just leaving it inside. We could have saved a few dollars by just keeping everything as it was, but I believe that fixing all the rust is better to start with instead of just going the easy way out. So same spot here, we have a lot of rust starting, so I think it's better to just do it right from the get-go. So now it's time to, where is it? There. Remove the roof. Take everything down and do the same thing. So same story here, we still didn't have electric screwdrivers, so everything done by hand. It was still pretty okay, went fairly quick.
We are putting all the old insulation in boxes because we're contemplating if we should reuse some of it or not. We still haven't decided what we're gonna insulate the walls with yet. So we might reuse it, we might not. So we will see. We haven't decided yet.
Ceiling is done, and as you can see, there's a lot of old wiring here that I have no idea where everything is going to, so it's probably better to just rinse and repeat. I was gonna say remove it all, and just do it fresh. So now it's time to remove the floor and see how it looks on the day. I'm not sure. I think it's gonna be pretty shit, but we'll see how it looks. Let's go.
The original floor is bolted in the chassis of the car with real threaded bolts, so removing these bolts was fairly quick, and you didn't have to go underneath the car in order to remove it. The floors was sitting with some sort of velcro, and it was full of oil underneath it. So since this was a service car before, I believe that they spilled a lot of oil on the floor, which was leaking in beneath the subfloor. I did cut my hand really bad. I slipped on the plywood and it just sliced my pinky finger. But quick fix, and we were back on track a few minutes later.
Yeah, boy. Okay, the floor. It's pretty nice. Really dirty. But overall, it looks quite okay. So this needs a good old scrub, and then it's gonna be good.
So we started off with just brushing off everything that was dry and not oil, and then we decided to degrease it just with normal car detailing degreaser. I don't know what it's called in English. I can show a picture of it here. After we degreased everything, we gave it a rinse, and then we used normal soap. We used Swedish grummesopa, which is just normal soap. I can show it here as well. It worked wonders. We had to wash it 2 times in order to get all the oil off, but it came off fairly good, and the result was very nice. We're just leaving the car open overnight to let it air through, and then everything should be dried out by tomorrow because it's a warm summer night in Sweden. In the next video we're gonna start with the rust removal and repainting everything that has to be painted. Alright, thanks for watching and see you in the next one.